Good day, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of the Rising Show. And I am your faithful host, Swaji Favor. So if you are joining us for the very first time, kindly click on the subscribe bell to be a part of this family, and also you can watch all our videos and like, share, and also encourage people to also join us and subscribe to the channel. So today we'll be talking about an interesting topic titled Walking Away from Genotype Incompatibility. The reason why we are treating this topic today is because there are so many things that I'm seeing recently, and there are so many issues that have been brought to my table, and I've encountered some issues that had to do with like genotype incompatibility about intending couples, and also children that have to suffer from sickle cell disorder because of the ignorance of their parents. So before I go forward, firstly, I would like to tell us what sickle cell disorder is all about so that we can have a better understanding of what we are talking about. So sickle cell disorder is an inherited blood condition in which the red blood cell has an abnormal shape, while it is prone to break down prematurely while it is passing through the narrow blood tissues. That's the scientific term that has to do with sickle cell disorder. So why am I talking about sickle cell disorder today? The reason why I'm talking about this is that I apart from the fact that I had some people that I came in contact with, and I discovered, let me use for instance like a kid that I came in contact with of recent, and this child, I was opportune to come across him, not even because I wanted to know his genotype or something. And then while a 12-year-old boy, and while having a conversation with him, I discovered that this boy kind of looked like a sickle celler. The symptoms they have at times, they look kind of somehow, and they have maybe yellow eyeball. So I felt, is this boy a sickle cell? But I was like, it might not be a sickle cell. So when I was able to have a conversation with the dad, I discovered that even the dad does not know the genotype of the child, which was kind of embarrassing, and I was disappointed, because how will you have a child that you don't know the genotype? So, but I had to pick up the boy and get some people involved, in which we took up the case of the child, and eventually we discovered that the boy is a sickle celler, and the father does not even know that the child is a sickle celler at the age of 12, which is is somehow. And that is the thing. The thing is that the major reason why I'm addressing this topic today is because I came across a post online. Somebody posted that, okay, I'm a girl and I met this guy of recent, we've been dating, I love him, he loves me back, and then we decided to go for medical testing, and we discovered that, okay, we are not compatible, our genotype is not compatible, so we have to separate. But I don't feel like separating, it also does not feel like letting go. I'm like, what rubbish is this? So I was like, okay, what is this person saying? Do you know, I had to repost and also type that, do you even know the trauma that comes with what you are playing with, that you don't want to let go at this stage because you feel the guys treat you the way nobody has ever treated you? Please, for God's sake, for crying out loud, let us be mindful of certain decisions we take now, because in future we might not be able to deal with the consequences. If you check families that have sickle cell children, in fact, the homes at times, they live from frustration, trauma, pressure, I don't know, just from one thing to the other, because you don't know when the child will have crises, you don't know when one thing will happen, you are just open. So even the relationship you are trying to hold on to at this moment, a time is coming where the pressure of having a child that is a sickle cell will put a strain on it. The thing is that one of the major things that I discovered as I was preparing for this video is we feel that the only genotype we have is AA, AS, and SS. Please, there are other genotypes that are beyond that. We have SC, we have AC, and we have CC. So if you feel okay, I'm AS, and the person I'm marrying is probably SC, and you feel you're compatible, my dear, you're not compatible. So that's why you have to go for medical testing and know, in my church now, for instance, before you can even say that they want to join you, you have to go for your medical checkups, and it involves like knowing your genotype and your blood group, because they cannot be joining to people that will eventually like bring kids into the world that will have to suffer in pain and agony for the rest of their lives, and even we have to live prematurely in most cases. So before you say you want to take a decision that involves something of such, please make sure that you involve a medical personnel and go for medical testing. It involves, see, when you start having crises, or when you start seeing people with crises, with sickle cell crisis, oh my God, you will not even want to think about that. I'm feeling somehow now, I want to keep this relationship, I want to do that, I want to do this. You won't, because the pressure of coming in and out of hospital is not a joke. It will drain you financially, it will drain you emotionally, psychologically, it will drain even spiritually. Because when you have to like deal with a child that is a sickle cell, my dear, your spiritual life might even crumble. It might crumble. Like I was reading a post on this sickle cell issue, and somebody was saying they were believers, and so I think they were AS, and they were like, okay, that they are going into the marriage, they are believing God, they are trusting God, that God is going to like change their genotype. I'm like, please, what's this? Like, what's that? Having faith is beautiful. In fact, it is awesome. But please, add some wisdom to whatever you're doing. Add wisdom to it. So please, you are going into a relationship, and because you feel like your faith, you're a Christian, you have faith for it, please don't do that. I beg of you, do not do that. Do not bring pain and agony to your life, because that relationship, even that spiritual life you feel like, the faith you feel like you have right now, I can tell you it is going to be affected by it. And also an issue that I would like to like attend to is that this boy, the case I was mentioning earlier, please, as a parent, why won't you know the genotype of your word, of your child? That's like the highest level of ignorance. The highest level of ignorance, which is why we have to create. I know certain people are illiterate, I'm sorry to use that word, and they are not like enlightened and aware of the fact that their genotype have to be compatible before they can say, okay, they are getting married or giving birth to children. And at times, with people like this, you can have unwanted pregnancies, which is one of the major issues we should deal with in our society. Parents, from now, start teaching your kids how to stay away from premarital sex that will lead to unwanted pregnancy, and that will bring about kids that are sickle cellers, for crying out loud. And also parents that you feel okay, I know we have local settings where things just happen. Let me say things happen, I use the word naturally in quotes, in the sense that, okay, you see a lady, you're a pepper seller, you're a this, you're a that, and people just meet and you feel like, okay, you just want to have fun, and it leads to something else, and at the end of the day, like the case of the boy I mentioned, I feel that was what happened, because when I questioned the father, I discovered that he's no longer with the mother, which I discovered that they were never legally married. So one thing led to one thing, and they had a child together. Unfortunately, the child is a sickle celler, because they never bothered. The most annoying part of it is that even after giving birth to the child, you don't even know if the child is a sickle celler. You don't know the genotype of your word. And I was asking him that, okay, this kid, how has he be faring? Like, doesn't he have crises? He mentioned that he had crises sometimes. But whenever he sees him, he's always fine. Like, coming to the spiritual. I'm like, God, what's this? Why is it that, okay, your child cannot, like, he's trying to say that his child, when his kid is with him, the boy does not have crisis. The boy does not get sick. But if you take the child away from him, that the child gets sick, to the glory of God, we took the child away from him. Because the most unfortunate part of it is that the boy is living alone. A 12-year-old boy, he stayed alone. When I came in contact with him, I had to ask him, are you sure you're staying alone? You're not lying and all that. I went to the place he's staying, my goodness. If you see the house, it's like an abandoned, I don't even know the word I should use for that environment. It is a house that even the government, when they see I'm sure they want to bring it down. And the boy is staying alone there. The father stays in Lagos. The child, a 12-year-old boy, stays alone in Ibadan. I'm like, what kind of parents is that? And to crown it all, we took the boy from him. I was able to like get the boy adopted by someone else, and to the glory of God, a lot of people came up and we were able to like raise one or two things, which is one of the vision of the Arising actually. But my point is, even till now, the father does not bother to ask where the kid is, how the kid is faring, how his child is. He is not bothered about it. He's not bothered. The last time the boy had like crises, the person that adopted him, like the person had to spend so much money. And then apart from that, I came across some issues with people that also had sickle cell, and I'm like, God, what's wrong with people? What's wrong with Nigerians? How will Nigerians have a major statistics of children with sickle cell? Like, why? Each day, one child is born with sickle cell disorder. Like, why? Please stop bringing in kids into the world for them to suffer and go through pain. It is unfair. It is really unfair. It is unfair. Forget your emotions. Forget your faith. I'm not saying let go of your religion or your faith, but please be realistic and be real to yourself. I'm sure nobody desires to watch your child die before you. Nobody desires that, but at times and in most cases, that's the end of most of the sickle cell kids. I've seen a lot of them. I know a lot of them that at some point they would try to like skate through some time, but at times you just see them that they keep having one crisis upon crisis upon crisis, and at the end of the day, they have to just give up and just say, "Whoa, Baba God, take me." So please, I'm begging us parents, I'm begging us mothers, I'm begging everybody out there that can reach out to people, even if it is in the local environment. Let them be aware of genotype compatibility and combination. Please speak to people that marriage is beyond your feeling and your emotion. Relationship is beyond feeling and emotion. Even sexual relationship is beyond feeling and emotion and the way you feel at the moment. Please, for crying out loud, let's be mindful of what we do. Let's be mindful of what we do. Let's not be ignorant of this fact. In my next video, I'll be talking about some of the genotype combinations that are okay and are good, and those that please do not try it. So please, this video is just a preamble of what is coming in the next episode, so watch out for that. This video is just to create an awareness and also to treat this issue of having to experience and see kids suffer from their parents' ignorance. So please, if you know those around you, if you have the opportunity to create awareness for people to know that they have to be compatible, their genotype has to be compatible, not just what they feel and how they see each other. Their genotype has to be compatible before they take the next step. I saw a post online that made me laugh. The post said, "What love has joined together, your genotype will put asunder," and that's the truth. So regardless of the level at which you've gotten in your relationship, once you do your genotype testing and you discover that you're not compatible, please cut that relationship off. Put an end to it. Everybody should go their separate way. It might be difficult, but then at the same time, just think of when you have to start nurturing a child that is a sickle celler, and you receive your strength from that to let go. I pray you receive your strength to let go. And if you're watching this video and you're still having doubts of whether you want to try it or not, whether you've done your genotype combination and you're still thinking that I can do this in Jare Moleshe, please take note of it and let go. Gather strength, pray, seek counsel, and please drop the relationship. So thank you for watching this video till this very time, and like I said, in the next video we'll be talking about genotype combinations that are compatible and those that are incompatible. So please do watch out for the next video, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do. Just click on it, and don't forget to share, and also tell people about this channel. You can tell a friend to subscribe, you can tell a friend to watch, comment, you can do anything, and you can also message me if you have questions about anything. So I'm I'm open to like receive your messages. So thank you for watching this video to the end. God bless you. Bye.